Sabadi Tukon. My name is Elizabeth B. Vishatep, and I'm your host today with SungKhom Lao podcast with Georgia Asian Time. Today I have some lovely guests here with me today. We have Britney, Chanseri, and Arianna Pathammavong.
Sabadi.
Now, before we get to introduce why you're here, I do have a few announcements from Georgia Asian Time. So we have April 7th is the deadline for the nomination for Georgia Asian Time 25 Most Influential Asian America. So please find somebody that you think is the best contender to be represented in our Lao community who you think should deserve this recognition. Also, it is now the month of April, right? Yay! And you know what that means for us? It is Lao New Year time. Everyone is scrambling to prepare for this event, not only in Georgia, but all over the world, here in Mung Lao, Georgia, and all other states. So I do have a few announcements of when those dates are here in Georgia, because we have multiple temples. We have the first one, which is this weekend, which is April 5th and 6th. That is the Riverdale Temple. That is Wat Lao Buddha Mungkun, and that's in Riverdale, Georgia. We also have the Wat Lao Buddha Kanti in Snellville, Georgia, and that's April 20 and 21st. Following on that weekend, after that weekend is April 27 and April 28. That's at Wat Lao Buddha Fotisaram in Conley, Georgia. Following after that weekend, we run into May, which is May 4th and 5th at Wat Lao Kambonhuan in Baldwin, Georgia. And lastly but not least, the following weekend of that is May 11th, May 12th, that's Mother's Day weekend in Alto, Georgia. And that's Wat Lao Buddha Satatama.
Yes.
Right? All right, so as all the temples in Georgia is getting ready for that, I know that we have our two dancers here from Phayanak Dance Group. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I know that you girls are preparing as well for the Lao New Year. Can you tell me a little bit more about your PDC, Phayanak Dance Group establishment, how you guys got started?
I'll let Arianna take off on this one first.
Sure. So the Phayanak Dance Crew, also known as PDC, was established in April of 2022. So right after the pandemic ended, it was a way for some of us former dancers to get back into dancing. We had been growing up as on different dance teams when we were younger, but then going through high school and then college, there wasn't as much time to be together and enjoy traditional dancing anymore. But once we all got settled into like work schedules, figuring out school, we decided it's time to get back into it. So that's how PDC was formed.
Right. And then so we all danced before. I think you guys all danced as a younger child, and you guys grew up. We all danced from different organizations and communities and stuff. What made you guys all come together? Because as me, I'm also part of your team as a dance instructor. From my perspective was to help you guys, because you guys came to me and was the one that wanted to dance, right? So can you tell me about why initially we want to come together for that?
I would say, so, growing up, I grew up in Habersham County, in the city of Cornelia, and Arianna was in Gwinnett. So, honestly, I did not even know about, that there were even dancers outside, like, Cornelia, other communities, until, they came up to Alto and performed.
Nice.
And, at that time we were still separated. We had different dance teams, but then now that we're older adults, it's like, we're like, I guess, colliding or collabing in a way. Now that we're as one.
Right. So it's more kind of like, regardless of like our locations, and we all still have the same passion with everything. We all wanted to dance, but it's like who do I go to? Where can I find other people like me that can also share the same similarities.
Right.
And so, it takes one person to reach out, right? And to actually form a group. I know for me, one of our members is Victoria. So she wanted to perform. I remember that. And she used to perform with my sister previously, and we kind of added her in. So, but it was kind of amazing because, even though we all didn't know each other back then, this is more kind of like collectively we're all sharing the same passion, and we are becoming family and this sisterhood. It's kind of like we were once lost, but now we found each other. So it's kind of like that for me. And I think that as your older sister, I feel like, helping and trying to help guide you into bringing it all together is kind of something that I think we all need, right?
Yes.
So what is your kind of favorite performance? I know for the past 2 years, you've done a lot of performances already.
Yes.
What is your favorite?
My favorite would definitely have to be SungKhom Lao, the friendship dance. We first performed that at Kanti last, or is it 2020?
I think last year.
Last year, yeah. And I think it just symbolized the fact of like we said previously, like we were separated, but then now we're together, and on top of that, we were dancing the friendship dance.
Yeah,
which was
It's like a friendship dance.
Yeah, can you explain what Lao Hong Pao is and the meaning of the performance?
Hong Pao is basically a friendship dance that I guess we try to include as many tribes as we can, just to.
It's like a collaborative effort.
Yes.
Representative of the different tribes in Laos. There are over 120, I believe. And so the dance is just kind of symbolic in that no matter what background you come from, you are still Khon Lao, you're still a Lao person, and that we all like work together, and it's a beautiful like united front.
Yes.
Awesome. So can you describe how your training goes with practice? So I know that it takes a certain skill set, or maybe you've never danced before, or this is your first time. Can you tell me your process of your practices and your training?
I'll let Arianna go first.
Okay. So in terms of training, we try to go about 1 or 2 months ahead of our performance date. That gives us enough time to learn new moves, kind of get our bodies back into it. It does require a lot of agility, strength, and balance. So we try to start a couple months ahead of time, and we all just trying to build kind of more of a team bond, I guess. That's also important because that also shows when our performances, we're more cohesive in that way. Try to work on that. Our practices, they're at least once a week, but the closer and closer we get, we try to get to like 2, sometimes it gets up to 3 practices a week. It can be quite tiring, but it's all worth it in the end.
Perfect. Yeah. So when you said team bonding, I think that's correct, because when you're dancing together as a whole, you can see your performance, that you guys are dancing as one and not as individuals.
Right.
So I think it's very important that we all get along, and then we all support each other as a team, so that way when we do perform live in person, it shows that all the hard work and dedication that we all put through. So Britney, I know you used to be a dance teacher, so tell me how it is now for you as a student.
So it's definitely much different because B has a whole different skill asset. Like we all have different skills, and so like now going under as being a student, it's definitely a much more different, not in a bad way, but like I'm not used to some of the moves that she does, or like the training that's involved, and on top of that, like I'm not I wasn't used to like not having to like hover over everyone,
right?
And now I can actually like, I guess, be my own kind of person and dancer, and like express more.
That's good. It's a little challenging when you're not used to doing something you used to, but at the end of the day, when you see the execution, it makes you feel good, right? And then because you guys have this potential, and you guys also teach each other.
Yes,
sometimes, yes, you may call me your dance instructor, but I'll say, okay, Arianna, can you lead the dance practice? Britney, lead the dance practice. Because it's not just one person team, it's a collective team, right?
Right.
So with your health, I know many of you, the dancers, you guys juggle with school. Some of them are still in school, college students. Some of them work. Some of them drive from Habersham still.
Yes.
Um,
Very far.
Arianna lives in Grayson.
Yeah.
You know, I live in Sewanee, so we all meet up at my house as a central location. So tell me about your health, your mental health, your physical health. Like how is that, like, does it get overwhelming? How do you guys get through it?
So the closer we get to performance season or Lao New Year season, as you can say, it does get a little bit stressful, but honestly for me, dancing helps me relieve my stress. So of course there's like tons of studies that show like exercise and just physical movement of the body can help relieve some of that stress and improve mental health. And that's really what it does for me. It also gives me a chance to bond more with my sisters. So that helps a lot with managing my stress levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about for you, Brittany?
So for me, I'm still in school and I still work.
You work in the hospital
yeah.
too, so that's the
And
bigger thing. Their
right.
hours are crazy.
Yes.
You work those late night shifts.
I work the graveyard hours, so 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. But like Arianna said, dancing for me is kind of like a stress reliever. It's the only time where I don't have to, I don't want to say not really use my brain, but at the same time it's like calming. It's
Right.
kind of therapeutic in a way. So if I'm not doing school or work, I'm with them.
Yeah. You're using a different side of your brain.
Yeah.
Right. And what are your goals within the dance crew? Are you just dancers, or are you guys more than that?
I would say we all have our own leadership role in a sense. We all have like different departments, of course. We are trying to become a nonprofit. We're working towards that. And so we have a like marketing team, which Brittany is a part of. We have a logistics team, sponsorship, and different departments like that. So more than just dancing, we all try to take, a leadership role in guiding those things.
Right. And I think all those things are important because as you become an adult, you're going to realize those things when you finish school, you come to the work life and you become an adult, you get those already experiences that you can add onto your resume.
Sure.
So that way it's going to help you along the run, because this is just also volunteer work. We're not getting paid to do this. This is something that everyone is doing because we want to keep our culture and heritage alive, because this is, being Laotian still a part of it. It's not going anywhere. So at least we can bring in all of those aesthetics of how to become a leader, how to market, how to be PR, how to manage these things within the team, so that way it can pass on in your life in the future, right?
Right. Exactly.
So just for a little fun thing, since you guys are dancers, is there some basic hand movements that we can show the audience?
Oh, Brittany.
So we have something called geep. So you hold your thumb to, I guess, the first
line of your finger.
Yeah. So you do this to make sure your hand fans out, and then we have wong, and make sure your thumb comes over here, and then like for us, especially B tells us all the time we have to make sure our hands are stretched.
Yeah.
So
Still working on it.
So another one is like, you go like this, and it's better when you have hot water.
Yeah.
So it helps with the flexibility of
It
your
loosens
hand.
those joints.
Yeah.
Right. And does most of the hand movements have a meaning? Is there a certain hand gesture that shows meaning? I think there's a few where a lot of the dance performances you put across your heart. That signifies love. If you do a dance and performance and you do it to your heart, this is something that for your jai in your heart. So there's a lot of hand movements that you can do. When you see people dance, you may not know what the song is about because it's not in English, but you can see where the hand placements are and the true meaning. There's one where you can see that they do like this, that's mean they're crying. So there's a lot of different like hand gestures and meaning for that. So what are your values as a team? They're characteristics that make you feel important that dancers should possess.
I guess beyond just physical abilities, mental qualities, I guess, that would be good to possess. adaptability. We do have a variety of songs we perform to. Some are much slower paced, they require a lot more grace. Some are more upbeat and need a little bit of sass in there. So being adaptable, being collaborative, working together, and learning from each other is very, very important. And I guess just being passionate at the end. As long as it's something that you love to do, that will always show to the audience.
Right. Do you think so sometimes I get this feeling where a lot of our songs that we perform are very like outdated, and they're from like maybe hundreds of years ago. And a lot of time I do get feedback where they say, oh, I see this over and over again, it's getting boring. What do you think that we can do as a team to excite the audience? Like, what do you think that some changes? I know that I try to push like, okay, let's do this differently. Let's change the song. Let's speed it up. Let's add some theatrical movements, because I think what I want to do is, instead of just becoming a dancer, it's more like performance arts. Because I think that's something that can tell a story with more props in our performances and showcases. So I think those are some things that we can look into. Like, what are some of your ideas that you think we can do in the future?
I do particularly remember a performance, I think it was 2014 or 15. It was like a 7 goddesses dance, and we did have other folks come in and be a part of the entire performance. It wasn't just us dancing. There was almost like a play or a skit at the beginning, and that was really fun, and I do want to do that performance.
You want to do that again?
Yes,
So
that was very exciting.
That sounds fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely we can bring that in the future to do, because I think now Lao culture is booming since last year, and it's kind of like everybody wants to represent Laos. Like, I'm Khon Lao, I'm Lao American. Everybody wants to represent that. So, and a lot of time, because we are born in America, we don't speak the language. A lot of the young kids don't speak the language, read or write it, but the only way we can pass down the Lao is our culture and heritage. So if we can bring out the explanation of all these things that we're doing, especially for Lao New Year that's coming up, why are there 7 contestants for Nang SungKhom? What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of washing the Buddha statue at Lao New Year? Like, all those have a meaning, but is there a time where people explain it? They do, maybe in Laos, but there's no one really out there to explain it. So hopefully this year with SungKhom Lao, I'll be there. I can help explain it to anyone just come visit us. So tell me, what is your way of fundraising? I know you guys will be there at the temple this year. So what is your form of fundraising?
So I'm pretty sure if you guys went last year to Kanti, this year we will be doing our drink booth. So that's like another way we fundraise. So
nice.
It's really fun. It's actually the time where pretty much everyone is there.
Right.
Yeah,
so what kind of drinks will you be selling this year?
So far we always got the good Thai tea. We got, are we doing the Vietnamese coffee too?
Yes, we are doing coffees.
And matcha.
Yes.
Arianna makes pretty good matcha. So we got matcha coffee, matcha lemonade. So some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I think we kind of started off as like the lemonade stand. Because I think I was like, let's do lemonade because it's hot in summer. It's like warm, and a lot of the kids they like summery drinks and some refreshing. So we add matcha to the lemonade, strawberry, all those nice flavors.
Yeah.
So we'll be there again at the temple. So with the process for preparing Lao New Year, can you explain I know, like you said, you're training and Lao New Year is coming up, but what else gets involved? Tell me, because I know behind the scenes with getting your dates in, where to perform, when to perform, and how do you decide what dance to perform? How do you pick that song?
I feel like we kind of collaborate as a team of what we feel. We're like, what song would be good?
Sure.
We just kind of consult it with each other, and then we just kind of come to a sense of I think this song's good, and then I think that's one thing, we get a free the freedom to pick of what we want to pick to perform, and and since we are all pretty much adults, we know how to help dress each other, make sure that we have the khan, we have the flour, you know, if needed, you know, make sure that everyone is pretty much set and ready to perform.
So how do you guys get that done with dancing, with practice, and your fundraising? Because you're dancing and you're fundraising at the same temple. Can you tell me your organization and process for that?
So with the fundraising, we do start early in the morning. We have to be there at like 8 or 9 a.m. to set up. And usually our performances are at nighttime, or if not nighttime, it will be done after the takbat ceremony, which is when we offer, it's almsgiving to the monks. They will come and walk down a line of sorts, and then we offer them goods, and they will bless them. Our performances are either after that or they're later at night if, say, there is a gala event. And so with the fundraising throughout the day, we take on shifts, so each person has time to, you know, walk around, explore the festival, enjoy time with their friends, and then also, you know, help contribute to fundraising.
Okay, so with the logistic and everything, you have to know the people that you're gonna be dealing with each temple. You're gonna have to also know, okay, what is their program gonna be like? You're not just kind of working or managing, you know, the dancers within yourself, but you gotta work around other people's schedule that's involved with the temple as well, and then other performers that's there. So it does, a lot goes on, a lot takes place, and a lot of time you just got to be patient until someone kind of responds to you. So how do you feel now after 2 years of becoming an established team? How's the growth? I mean, we started off with how many dancers?
We started off with 5, I think.
It
was 5 people.
And how many do we have now?
12?
12.
Yes, we have 12 people now. Yeah.
So we are waiting to like grow some more and everything. So I know you have upcoming performance. So the month of April, Lao New Year kind of runs from April through May, and then May you have your AAPI Heritage Month. So that's go. Can you go ahead and tell everyone like your upcoming performances? One, how can they find you? Where can they look you up on social media? And also, where can they see you perform?
Well, social media, Instagram, Facebook, Phayanak Dance Crew. That's where we post all our updates, all of our events, pictures, and usually we post our upcoming performances on there too.
Yes, we do. And then if you'd like to inquire about any performances, you can email us at phayanakdancecrew@gmail.com.
Okay. And then upcoming performance coming up, can you go ahead and let the audience know when and where you're performing?
Yes. So our first performances will be the weekend of April 20th and April 21st. So on the 20th, we'll be fundraising. The 21st, which is a Sunday, we will be performing in the afternoon time at Wat Lao Buddha Kanti in Snellville, Georgia. And then after that will be April 27th and 28th at Wat Potisaram in Conley, Georgia. That will be on Saturday and Sunday. And then there's also a performance on Sunday, May 5th at the Baldwin Temple. That is Wat Kambung Bunhuang. Yes, so that will be on Sunday. And then we also have a May 11th AAPI Swanee Town Center performance. So we will be there for their AAPI festival. That will most likely be in the afternoon time. And then to round everything off, it will be the May 29th Gwinnett County Legislative performance at their courthouse. That is usually closer to nighttime, around 6 or 7 p.m.
All right, so it seems like you guys practice for months and then you have back-to-back performances that just don't stop. So do you guys, after the performances, do you guys plan to take a break, or do you continue to practice so that way you don't forget anything? And how do you guys do that? And then do you guys start over and recruit again in the fall time for other performances? I think you'll also be fundraising again in September.
Yes.
Right? Usually for the Atlanta Dragon Boat Festival. It's one of our fundraising event. And then we'll also be there as well. Is there anything else you'd like to let the audience know about yourself and PDC?
Come check us out at our upcoming performance, April 20th, 21st.
Please come out and see us.
Yeah. And get some yummy drinks.
Yay. So this is SungKhom Lao podcast here with Phayanak Dance Crew and Georgia Asia Time. So we thank you and Suksan Van Pi Mai. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Khop Chai Lalai.
Khop Chai.